Every morning, millions of people wake up, get dressed, go to work, come home, and go to sleep, only to repeat the same routine the next day. On the outside, life looks fine, but deep down, something feels empty. That emptiness, that quiet ache, comes from one missing piece: purpose. Purpose is what gives life meaning. It's the why behind everything we do. Without it, even success feels hollow. You can have money, fame, comfort, but if you don't have a reason to get up in the morning, you'll feel lost. Purpose is what fuels passion. It's what keeps you going when things get tough. It's the difference between just existing and truly living. Think about it. Every great story, every great invention, every great movement started with a person who found their purpose. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't fight for attention. He fought for justice. Mother Teresa didn't work for money. She worked for love. Elon Musk didn't build rockets just for business. He built them to push humanity forward. Purpose gives direction to your energy. It turns your job into a mission, your talent into impact, and your pain into power. When you live with purpose, even small actions feel significant. You stop chasing everything and start choosing what truly matters. You work not just for income, but for impact. You stop asking, "What can I get?" and start asking, "What can I give?" And that simple shift changes everything: your mindset, your energy, and your results. But here's the truth. Finding your purpose isn't easy. It doesn't come in a flash of lightning or a grand revelation. It's discovered through curiosity, reflection, and struggle. It's built through experience, especially failure. Sometimes your greatest pain becomes your greatest purpose. Let me tell you a story. There was a young man who grew up poor. His mother worked multiple jobs, and he often went to bed hungry. One day he promised himself that he'd never let his family suffer again. He worked day and night, chasing success. Years later, he became a millionaire, but he still felt empty. One day, he visited his old neighborhood and saw a young boy just like him, barefoot, hungry, hopeless. In that moment, he realized his true purpose wasn't to make money, but to make a difference. From that day forward, he began funding education for underprivileged kids. For the first time, he felt fulfilled. That's the power of purpose. It turns success into significance. Purpose doesn't always mean changing the world in big ways. Sometimes it's simple. It can be being a loving parent, a kind teacher, a caring friend, or an honest worker. Purpose is about doing what you do with meaning, with heart. It's about leaving people and places better than you found them. In our modern world, many people confuse purpose with goals, but they're not the same. Goals are about achievement. Purpose is about alignment. Goals change as you grow. Purpose stays with you. Goals are what you want to do. Purpose is why you want to do it. You can hit every goal and still feel empty if you forget your why. But if your purpose is clear, even failure feels meaningful because you know you're moving in the right direction. When you discover your purpose, your energy changes. You stop comparing your life to others. You stop chasing what looks good and start building what feels right. You begin to understand that success isn't about being the best. It's about being useful, being kind, being true to yourself. So, how do you find your purpose? Start by asking 3 questions. What makes you feel alive? What breaks your heart? What can you give to the world that no one else can? Your purpose often lives where your passion meets the world's need. Maybe you love helping people, creating art, solving problems, or inspiring others. Whatever it is, that's your gift. And when you use that gift to serve something bigger than yourself, that's your purpose. Remember, purpose doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. It's in those quiet moments when you feel joy doing something simple. It's in the things you lose track of time doing. It's in the moments that fill your heart, not your wallet. Listen closely and it will reveal itself. Living with purpose doesn't mean your life becomes easy. It means it becomes meaningful. You'll still face challenges, failures, and doubts. But when you know your why, you'll always find your how. Purpose gives strength to keep going when motivation fades. It gives peace when life feels uncertain. It gives light when everything feels dark. When you live with purpose, you don't just go through life, you grow through life. You start turning ordinary days into extraordinary opportunities. You stop surviving and start thriving. You stop being driven by fear and start being guided by meaning. Every person has a unique purpose, a role that only they can play. Maybe your purpose is still unfolding, and that's okay. The journey itself is part of the purpose. Every experience, every heartbreak, every victory, it's all shaping you into who you're meant to be. So take a deep breath, look within, ask yourself, why am I here? What am I meant to contribute? Because the moment you find that answer, your life will never be the same. You'll wake up with clarity. You'll work with passion. You'll love with intention. And you'll realize happiness isn't something you chase. It's something that happens when you live with purpose. In the end, the greatest tragedy isn't dying, it's living without meaning. Don't just exist, live intentionally. Don't just make a living, make a difference. Because one day, when you look back on your life, you won't remember the money you made or the titles you earned. You'll remember the lives you touched, the love you gave, and the purpose that guided you through it all. So find your why, live it, breathe it. Let it shape your life and your work. Because when you live with purpose, every day becomes a gift. Every challenge becomes a teacher, and every action becomes part of something bigger than yourself. That is the power of purpose. It gives meaning to your life, and life to your meaning.